Good morning, 5th grade. My name is Kaylee Larson, and I'm going to answer some questions that you guys came up with Miss Keltner to ask me. The first question is, why did I choose to enlist in the military? I chose to enlist because I was going to college and it was getting expensive, and I knew that joining the military would mean that they would pay for my schooling. So far they've been doing that, and I'm only a year away from my bachelor's degree at their expense. I have zero college debt, so that's nice. I also chose to enlist because I wanted to travel and move around and see new places, and I knew that the military did that at their expense also. And lastly, I decided to join because I wanted to serve and protect my country. The next question is, what branch am I in and why did I choose the one I'm in? So I'm in the Air Force, and I chose the Air Force because I felt like it was the best suited branch for me and my needs and what I was looking for. They really go out of their way to put their people first and try to accommodate you and help you in any way that they can to live the lifestyle that you're trying to live. Did you have another job before joining the military? Yes, I did have another job before I joined the military. When I was younger, I babysat, and then after babysitting, when I turned 16, I worked at a pool as a lifeguard, and eventually I became the manager of the pool, and I did that for a couple years while I was still in college before I joined. How much training did I have to do when I joined? How hard was it, and do I still have to train? Prior to enlisting, I attended a debt program training every week, and we would basically just learn some of the really basic stuff like a reporting statement for basic training, simple facing movements, small things just to make basic training a little easier. So then I went to basic training, and that was 8 weeks long, and while I was there we learned like history of the Air Force. We learned the rank structure and chain of command. We learned how to fight at war. We learned self-aid buddy care, CPR, how to shoot the rifles, how to clean the rifles. We did a lot of physical fitness like running, push-ups, sit-ups, pull-ups, circuits, things like that. We learned to march, a lot of things. And was it hard? It was hard, but it was so worth it. I think that the hardest part, honestly, was probably being sleep deprived. I think maybe I averaged, like, on a good night, 4 hours of sleep a night. So that was draining. And lastly, do I still train? Yes, we are constantly having to train every quarter. So every 3 months we do like a fake deployment on base where we practice our deployment readiness. So we have that. We have a PT test that, depending on how you score, you have to test every year or every 6 months. We constantly have to keep up with like cyber awareness and, like for my job, I specifically have to keep up with training for that. So yeah, we're constantly training. That never stops. We always have to be mission ready and ready to do our jobs. What is my job? So I am a non-destructive inspection craftsman, and the best way I can describe to you what I do is imagine a plane doctor that diagnoses but doesn't fix anything. So I x-ray the jet just like you would go to the doctor to have your arm x-rayed if you thought you broke it. I do the same thing for the jet, looking for breaks and cracks in the jet. The ultrasonic stuff that they use on a pregnant woman's stomach, I use that as well to look for hairline fractures, to look for delaminations within the plane, and just to test the integrity of the aircraft. We also use JOPE, where we burn an oil sample from the engines of the airplanes to test and see if there's any wear metals, like if the engine could fail during flight. We use liquid penetrant, which is like a glowing green substance, and it sticks into the defects of aircraft parts, and so we're able to inspect them that way. Lastly, we use mag particle, where we magnetize a part and create this magnetic field around it, and we have iron particles that go to the crack because of a leakage field. And with a black light, we're able to identify that that's another crack. And I also forgot that we use eddy current, which is eddy currents going into a part that we're inspecting, and if there's a defect, the eddy currents hit the part and bounce back, and it displays on a screen as like a spike. And so that's how we're able to inspect that. So like I said, non-destructive inspection craftsman, which is basically a plain doctor that diagnoses and doesn't fix anything. I just tell someone else to do that. What do people at work call me? People at work call me Sergeant Larson. So my rank is a staff sergeant and my last name is Larson. So that's what I'm called at work. Do I like moving around a lot, and where do I live now? I love moving around. I currently live in Tucson, Arizona, but prior to here, I have lived in San Antonio, Texas. I've lived in Pensacola, Florida, Goldsboro, North Carolina, South Korea, and now Tucson. I've also been given the opportunity to travel to several different states and countries and locations. I've been to Guam, I've been to Indonesia, Bali, I've been to California, I've been to South Carolina, I've been to Virginia, all kinds of places, and that's not including the states that I've just driven through. I've been to Colorado, Iowa. So yes, I do love traveling, and I currently live in Tucson, Arizona. What do I wear to work? This is what I wear to work every day. My uniform makes choosing my outfit or clothing for work pretty easy every day. They tell me what I have to wear, so that's nice. Have I been deployed, and where to? I have not been deployed yet. I am going to be deploying within the next 4 months or so. I can't really tell the location because it's kind of confidential information, but just know that it's safe and I will return home happy and alive. What is it like being away from my family, and how often do I get to see them? Just as you guys would, I miss my family. I absolutely hate being away from them. I miss out on a lot of important things that I wish I could be there for. But at the same time, serving my country and doing what I do is well worth it to me. I'm able to see them usually every 6 months to a year, depending on deployments and what the work demands are at the time and how much leave I have. But overall, I do miss them. I really, really do. But thankfully for technology nowadays, we're able to FaceTime or Skype and video chat and all these things, so I don't miss out on as much as I could potentially be missing out on. How long am I going to be in the military? I wish that I knew that. I wish I could tell you. So when I first joined, I thought that I would for sure be a 20-year, do my full time and then retire. But I'm not saying that I won't do that now. I have just come to realize with more age that someday when I have a family, I might change my mind on that, simply because I don't want to miss out on my kids' birthdays and Christmases and things of that nature. So we'll just have to see what the future holds and where I'm at when that time comes. What is my favorite and least favorite part about being in the military? My favorite parts have been traveling, meeting my husband, the people that I've met along the way. It's awesome the bonds you create with people who you never even would have known had you not been in the military. My least favorite part, that one's kind of hard because I really enjoy what I do. I guess I would probably say sometimes we have to do silly things to, like, for example, go home to see my family. I have to submit a whole bunch of paperwork and tell everyone where I'm going to be. My commander or like my boss has to sign off on me going home, and sometimes it just gets frustrating that I feel like I'm a child even though I'm 24 years old. But overall, like I said, I love what I do. I love being in the military. I love traveling. I love the people that I meet, what I do every single day. So I really don't have any least favorite parts, just things that maybe aren't the most ideal. But I hope that I have answered all your guys' questions and that you enjoyed listening to the whole 10 minutes of this video. Thank you for your time.